turning a community and a neighborhood around, doesn't it?
Yeah, you certainly have to be able to take a punch and get back up and keep going. There's on a daily. I love the question that I get from people like, "How's everything going?" Jesus. Well, there's 20 things on the docket right now, and 5 or 6 are going really well. 5 or 6 are really causing pain, and then we're trying to make sure that the rest are having their needs met as well.
Can we remind folks?
Yeah.
That in 2017, if you were to walk down State Street north of the park, it's like a no-go zone in a lot of ways.
Yeah, you had the Crack Donald's here that was the epicenter for overdoses in Northwest PA. There was not a lot of good to be spoken for in this area, which we're happy to say it feels a lot different today.
8 years later, wow.
As much as I get reminded of that perspective on a consistent basis by the people who can see the look in my face sometimes, we have a long way to go. And I'm we had a stakeholder meeting with one of our board organizations today, and they're just getting some of the newer people in their organization up to speed with what the EDC is and what our investment horizon looks like. It's not a 10-year project. This is not something that's going to turn around immediately. Mm-mm. We're in year 8 right now, and I think we'll be sitting here in year 18, having made a bunch more progress, but still have a ways to go. So, it's been an exercise in learning how to be patient for me. Mm-hmm. That's not what I was used to, a faster pace, and I'm very much results oriented, and when you can't see the results fast enough, it becomes frustrating. So, knowing that this is you're playing a long game, it took a little bit of adjustment for me at the beginning to be able to feel comfortable in that. Economic development is not for the faint of heart, especially in cities like Erie, and there's many like Erie. We're not unique, and we have some advantages and we have some disadvantages, but there are a lot of other cities like this. And if you look at places like, South Bend or Syracuse or Toledo, everybody's dealing with different things, and those that are successful are the ones that are consistent and they keep putting one foot in front of the other. Mm-hmm. I like to think of it as like taking 3 steps forward, 2 steps back, a punch in the mouth, and get up the next morning and do it again.
And you might be just a little bit ahead.
Yeah. Every time I start to feel like, oh man, this is good, everything's going really well, we got a lot, like you're just waiting. Something's coming.
What are the basics? Is it deferred maintenance on things like infrastructure? I remember we've talked a lot on like what it takes to get the proper amount of power to your new buildings. I mean,
infrastructure is definitely part of it. I think it's, in general, we go back to the economics and what jobs are here that allow our community to have enough disposable income to create a center of commerce that is successful. We're not quite there as a community. Mm. And I think I was in a meeting this morning that was hosted by the chamber with close to 50 business leaders, economic development specialists, talking about what it's going to take to get Erie to that place. And it's an all hands on deck effort. Everybody's got to be on the same page. What types of businesses are we bringing here? What kind of students are we generating from our schools and higher ed institutions? Mm-hmm. And what are we doing to make sites available, to make office space available, to pave the road for those that are ready to come to a place like Erie, to actually be able to come here and move in quickly and start to bring those good jobs into our community.
Might help if we pave the roads.
And what's the EDC's role in that?
Right.
I think it's a couple of things. One, we're in some ways the leading edge of the effort because we're first mover in trying to create an environment.
You're becoming a template for other neighborhoods.
Showing what can be done, mm-hmm. Sharing that knowledge so that others can do the same, and serving as a reason for people to want to make their own investments in our town. So in addition to that, along the way, you know, you have Kyocera wanting to opening a new facility out at Penn State Behrend. Mm-hmm. They're going to be hiring a lot of people in that and good paying jobs in that facility. A lot of the recruitment is of younger talent in the tech world. And does younger talent want to move to Erie? Well, they might if the downtown is cool and it has fun things going on and it has places to live, work, play all in one spot and creates that urban environment that the big, shiny, lit up cities have as well.
Sure.
So to keep people in Erie, to attract people to Erie when you've got Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and even bigger cities like New York, Chicago, D.C. around Philly, you need to be able to show that this is a city that is a place where young, smart people want to create a life and where their spouses are going to want to move and where they can find a job. So that's part of our role here. It's to create that amenity-rich environment in a city core. And then you hope that others continue to do the same thing. So we've got a little bit going.
Yeah.
we have.
I mean, the beginning of the flywheel is moving, correct?
Yeah, correct.
But this has taken 8 years.
It's taken 8 years, and in that 8 years, it was really the first 2 or 3 that was planning, raising money, designing buildings, acquiring buildings, getting things going. And then while you're in the middle of construction, you hit a pandemic and you can't do as much as you want to do. We're now through to the other side of that. The first phase of our buildings are complete and we're finishing one project, which is the Flagship Commons where the old Coconut Joe's and bus station sat. That'll really complete this 3-city block development that we've been working on now since 2017. And what we're doing beyond that is being opportunistic with other potential acquisition opportunities and development opportunities. We're looking at partnering with other developers to help them with their projects. And we're making it a concerted effort of ours to support the small businesses that can move into our spaces so that they have the best chance of success. Because all of these beautiful new buildings and restored older buildings, if the businesses that move in there fail, mm-hmm. then what is this all for?
Right.
So it's a lot.
Yeah.
we have a lot on our plates.
Let's start checking some boxes here. Talk about your efforts for small business, because I would imagine that there's probably even folks outside your footprint that would be interested in hearing what you guys are doing.
Yeah. So, I mean, the start of it all was the Flagship City Food Hall. And, I hear a lot of misconceptions about the food hall, like that the rents are too high and it's impossible for a business to succeed there. We have plenty of successful businesses in there. And usually when new prospective tenants show up, they can't believe that, if they're hitting the types of revenues that the average business in there is hitting, that they're really probably only going to be paying around like 18% in rent, and they don't have to pay for any equipment, utilities, janitorial services, or anything else.
And it helps if you stay open.
Yeah, this is kind
of
of
have the hours.
It's a venture studio for hospitality entrepreneurs mm-hmm. that really think they've got something. Mm-hmm. And so that with 7 kitchens in there now, we're looking to fill the 8th. We've reached a level of somewhat stable businesses in there that are doing really well. We got one that just opened its 2nd and soon to be 3rd location. We now have a grocery store adjacent at Country Fair, which is huge for our downtown. Solving that food desert is a big part of what we're doing. And beyond that, we've got the retail shops right adjacent to us here at the Shops at 5th and State.
Yeah.
And we're about to open a few new projects as well, including.
But you're giving some education. Yeah. You're helping folks figure out how to do their cost of sales and how to get staffing and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, that's an effort that's been in the making since almost 2 years ago when I first started in this job. We now have a full-time employee that works up at Radius at 10th and State, Janessa Norton, who is our business support coordinator, who is providing a lot of the mentorship support for not just the businesses in our footprint, but all around Erie. And she's been in the role now for close to 2 months. I think it's been 7 weeks. Has spoken with dozens of businesses that have variety of needs, those that are growing and need to help managing that growth, and those who are just getting started and need help with the business plan. So now that we have an actual full-time person dedicated to that, she herself is surrounded by a lot of resources that are already existing in the community that are adjacent in the radius space. Mm-hmm. I think we're going to be able to see a lot of improvement as she gets that project, that plan gets rolled out over the next few months and years.
What tends to be the biggest obstacle that a small business, let's say whether it's food based or retail based, what are they struggling with the most?
It varies. A lot of them come in knowing that they can do something really well.
I can make an amazing cheesecake.
Source a particular kind of clothing, or do tailoring, or make a cheesecake or a certain type of cuisine.
Yeah.
But there's a lot that goes into running even a small food hall kitchen, whether it's licenses and permits at the government level, taxes that need to be paid at the state and local levels, the management of inventory, the management of employees and the taxes that you have to pay and the forms that you have to fill out with employees. It's difficult. And a lot of people just don't know what they don't know when they get started. They get off to the races, sales are coming in, they know what their revenues are, mm-hmm. but everything beyond that is just a guessing game.
They don't know what's going out.
And if the back of the house is not kept in order, and if things aren't organized and we're not on top of those things that you need to do in the background of a business, pretty soon the front of the house falls apart too. Yeah. And what we're trying to do is make sure that we can set people up for success and make sure that by setting somebody up for success, they're organized and they're ready for the really difficult things along the way. They can focus on what they're good at. So bookkeeping's a major pain point for a lot of them. It's difficult.
So interesting.
And you don't need to show somebody how to sign up for QuickBooks. You need to actually show them how to go into QuickBooks and make sure that things are correct. So you know how much money you have, what's coming in, what's coming out. So there's a lot of bookkeeping training.
Yeah.
There's a lot of helping out with the employment agreements, agreements with vendors and customers. So we're getting there. Part of our job in this community is to make sure that the economic development that is supposed to result from the work that we started 8 years ago can actually happen, and we're taking those steps now.
We're talking to Drew Whiting. He's the CEO of the Erie Downtown Development Corporation. We've got a break to take. Talk Erie and the Joel Natale Show. Drew Whiting is with us. He's the CEO of the Erie Downtown Development Corporation. Drew, I want to go to the flagship commons. We've been calling it the Gap Building since we started on the air, and it is happening. Dirt is moving. So give us the concept. What are we looking at? What's the timeline?
We made it.
We made it. Yes.
The idea behind the design of this building was to really tie together everything that we've done so far and to connect our public square, Perry Square, to parking garage and Fifth Street. The vision is that Fifth Street from Peach to French becomes this basically museum and arts district that will span from the Children's Museum all the way over to Country Fair Dave's Diner on the other end.
Wow.
And the entrance to Gannon's campus. So what we designed is build a building that's got a giant 24-foot wide, you drive a truck through it, public walkway that will connect Perry Square with Fifth Street so that people parking our garage can just walk straight through, and they'll go past a couple of restaurants and retail shops on the way. And then bisecting, going the other direction, will connect the food hall with Country Fair so that our residents in the wintertime could really walk throughout that entire block without having to go outside. And it should also represent opportunities for food hall vendors or others around the community that want to open a full-service sit-down restaurant, the ability to do that. Retailers will have other opportunities there as well. We can do indoor farmers markets through the winter in this public mall space. And then we're going to have a rooftop terrace in the summertime that will overlook Perry Square, which would be really cool.
That would be really cool.
That upper floor will be great event space. One other thing that this building is meant for, and this is when we were talking about creating space that is ready for those that may want to move to Erie and create these jobs. We have office space on the upper floors of this building. There'll be Class A office space that was really a test. Can we attract new business, community assets to downtown with this space? And so far, since I told you earlier, as the news has started to pick up on the ground moving in this area, at the new development picture and details start to hit the news, and we've started to get calls already from people looking for office space. So,
and explain that to folks. First off, what is Class A office space, and the concept that they said, well, why can't they just go to 100 State, or why can't they go to any of the other places up and down State Street or across 12th or whatever? A
lot of the currently available office space is what you'd think of as like 1980s, 90s office space with carpet and drop ceiling, and it looks like it's from a different era.
It's dated. Yeah.
Class A is a lot of is more modern, amenity rich, central air, higher ceilings, and meant to attract the types of businesses that we think will come into Erie that will pay a living wage or solid wage to those that they're looking to hire. So I think that this is the keystone of our development. It's fitting. We are building all the things that somebody working in one of those places would be able to enjoy. They may want to live next door and not have to commute in from the suburbs every day. So looking forward to getting things going here. They start to drill into the bedrock next week, now that the earth has moved. And
will we be hearing the pounding of the I-beams?
You'll be hearing it and feeling it, Joel.
I remember when they were doing it over at Erie Insurance. Yeah, the whole place shakes.
Look, nobody likes construction zone.
No, it's fine.
But it's a sign of progress. We expect this building to be done early 2027. Which will be right around the 10-year anniversary of the start of the EDC, and then also when the Bayfront Parkway project should be wrapping up as well. So all of that coming together over the next couple of years, or year and a half, I think will be an exciting thing to see, and looking forward to it.
Is any of this data-driven, or are we talking to a consultant? How does this work?
It's a mix. Building 100-plus market rate apartments downtown was not data-driven by anything. It was, I think if we build this, people will show up, and we have no vacancies, and we've got a 90-person wait list.
Repeat what you just said.
Yeah, we have market rate apartments, the top of the market here in Erie, 104 of them that are all full, not a single vacancy, and we have a wait list.
of almost 100 people on your wait list.
Yeah.
That still blows people's minds.
Yeah, that was not a data-driven move. If anybody was looking at the data for the area at the time,
I did see a report at one point that said there was demand for 750 apartments, and people almost booed the presenter off the stage.
Sure. Look, a lot of these people come in having seen this happen in other places, including me. And I think bringing an outside perspective does help that. It helps you have the vision that you can't have when you're just staring at what's right in front of you.
Yeah.
And if we're going to have a vision for this place that improves on what we have today, we need to do some things that are risks, that are gambles. We're lucky to have stakeholders at the Eddc and some of our government agencies that are willing to take that risk on us. And we're starting to get the attention of even like Pennsylvania state government, who might consider participating in a couple of these projects at some point, which is something that we have not to date been able to get them to do. So it's exciting to be able to start to get that level of
So there's no
attention.
RCAP money in any of these buildings?
Not a single public dollar in any building. The other thing that I hear a lot of, which is I always get a chuckle, is that somehow the people that own these buildings and the EDC, board or whoever, they're making money off of this stuff. Could not be farther from the truth. This is truly an investment in a very, very long-term prospect at
patient capital.
The city improving so that the businesses that have invested in this can attract talent, can bring people into work here and stay here, create their lives here. And so far, fingers crossed, it's working. And not only that, but we're attracting other investment from elsewhere. So you have the Renaissance.
We're gonna talk about that after the break, because there, if you go south of the park, there's a lot going on, and of course, north of the park is a $110 million investment by PennDOT to improve our access. We're going to talk about all of that when we come back with Drew Whiting here on Talk Erie and the Joel Natale Show.
Tim was just sitting over there.
It's Talk Erie and the Joel Natale Show. Why is this automation not letting me talk, Shane? I don't get what's going on here. All right, we're live again here on Talk Erie and the Joel Natale Show. Got the big boss in the studio here, the CEO of the Erie Downtown Development Corporation. Drew Whiting is with us. We're live on Facebook and YouTube as well. Drew, a lot of folks wanting to see this conversation here. And
just doing it for the comment section, Joel.
No, Lord. Please be kind in the comments. Before I go south on State, let me go east on 5th. Dave's Diner is opening very soon.
Yeah. Flooring's going in right now. The drywall's done. I think he'll be open in the next couple weeks. He's yet to give us a firm date, but it's looking good. They're getting close.
Well, even if it's in time for Gannon.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Time for Gannon. Yeah, I'm pumped to have a diner down here. It's going to be bad for my health, but really it's going to be a good hangout spot for me in the mornings. Attached right to that parking garage too. So
how many can he seat there? It's going to be huge, right?
I forgot the seat count, but I think it's 70 or 80.
So I thought it was like 80. Yeah. I mean,
it's going to be.
I wonder if any of the
a great brunch spot on the weekends. Yeah. Like we don't really have a big brunch scene down here. Dave's bringing it back. He's going to have his mimosas and Bloody Marys.
Very true.
Wow. Yeah, and I think beyond that project, we're working on bringing an Irish bar back to downtown, adjacent to that on the other north on Peach.
Okay.
So hoping to get through design and get into construction this fall and be open sometime in the first quarter with that project, which would be really cool.
That'd be amazing.
So yeah, I think. Look, I hear all the time, like, do we really need another bar down here? Do we need more restaurants? I think you have to be smart about what you're doing. Bring it in the variety. You're responding to demand. You're on the edge of a college campus. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think so.
Talk about some of the stuff that like Ryan is doing. He's programming these spaces. And again, he is our favorite person on the block.
Hoover's the man.
He is the man.
Yeah, you can't understate how important Ryan Hoover is to downtown. I'd say the same thing about Dave Tamalonis at the Downtown Partnership. They bring like a different energy and skill set, but they complement each other very well, and they're just wonderful for the community here. So Ryan Hoover, when I first showed up, he was like, responding to complaints about people's dishwashers not working,
right? Yeah,
or their washing machines, and I took a look at his resume. I'm like, this is a 10-year Disney guy. What are we doing? So Ryan
he creates experiences.
Yeah, about 2 years ago, he started to focus solely on promotions and events and really turn on the creativity. So what I tell Ryan to do is just dream up the craziest things you could think of, and I'll go find you a budget for it.
So it wasn't your idea to have the talking garbage can?
I sadly cannot take credit for the talking garbage can. That is 100% Hoover. I'll give him all the props for that one. But what people don't see is that Ryan's working really closely with a lot of our tenants to help them with their marketing plans, to help them make sure that they can create awareness about their brand being in the food hall or one of our other spaces.
Right.
And creating things like our new Thirsty Thursday series, which from 4 to 6 every Thursday, right outside the food hall at State and North Park Row, we've got live band outside. We've got food and drink outside as well, leading right into Music in the Park, which is Dave's baby, right on Perry Square. So Ryan is really you can't draw up a better person for the role that we need him to fill here. And like, who else is going to think to turn a trash alley into one of our event centers and our 429 State Alley parties?
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to work with him.
There was like there was a block party, and there's a lot. This is a vibe of activation. They call it activation. You're activating a space, right?
Yeah, Ryan's he's a big time influencer in here.
Yeah. Oh, definitely, definitely. I think his ride on the water taxi was one of the got like 250,000 hits or something like that.
I introduced him to Brian Gorman over at Waldemir. Now he's become a big promoter of Waldemir as well.
I believe it.
He needs to start charging for that.
we need more Ryan around here.
We do.
So you've got Dave's is opening. You also mentioned again there is a coming soon, the Serafini's Trattoria.
Yep.
Italian food downtown,
and Serafini's too.
Did I say Serafini's?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I said it right?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
You got it. So yeah, Amanda and Opie have. I think I first spoke with her about a year ago, and we were talking about potentially bringing something downtown, and we didn't know where. And the cashier's house became available. It just worked out really well. So they're continuing the family recipes and legacy in that building. And the sign went up on the wall today, which is a really exciting time. I think they'll be open in the next couple weeks as well, potentially at the end of next week. But it if you've been into Bricks, there were some shortcomings with some of the design there and some of the internal acoustics of the place. We've taken a lot of time and energy and resources to rectify those issues. It looks beautiful inside.
You mean you had to actually control sound?
Yeah, we have two big old great rooms essentially that were just echoing sound off the walls. You could hear somebody talking from the other corner. Got very loud in there. We're also going to be we're going to be opening up a really nice patio in the back courtyard as well. So they're going to have tables and chairs out there and bringing back the recipes that everybody in Erie has been waiting to see for the last 5 years. I'm so excited. Amanda and Opie they've brought in a rock star team in their chef Jim and Natalie, their GM, I think her title is.
Okay.
And they're very organized. They know exactly what they want to do, and they are people that can execute. So I'm so excited to see them open in the next few weeks. And
I mean, you think about your experience with downtown Italian. Again, I think about Nashville and the Spaghetti Factory. You couldn't get near that place. I mean, on a Tuesday night. Yeah. I mean, it's the kind of potential place that will go nuts every night of the week.
Yeah, I think they're going to do very well. That initial crowd that's going to come in is going to be really exciting. And that crowd's going to come back because they're going to do a really good job of making sure that those people have a great experience. The best part about watching them operate, Hazard's right next door.
Yes.
And Lewis at Primo right there as well. Super collaborative with the neighboring businesses. We're starting to see a lot more of that. Like you see Copper Carriage collaborating with Primo and with the Old Sweet Shop and the Charisma Salon. Mm-hmm. We've developed a community down here of business owners and people that patronize those businesses that's really supportive, that's positive, and that has sustainable presence. So awesome. That to me, you brought up Ryan, and I think his energy and that it's contagious. Like people that are around other people that are positive and that are always bringing something exciting and good feeling to the air. I think that rubs off on people, and you're going to have some negative experiences here and there. We live in a city. Things happen.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of positive to be encouraged by, and makes me optimistic about our future here.
Let's widen out. Go. Let's talk about some of your neighbors here. For example, the bakery on 5th.
Yeah, they
seem to be holding their own. I mean,
it's a world class French bakery.
The nudes there.
Yep.
I mean, there's. It's doing.
Oba
it's
Sushi.
Having that spillover effect.
Yeah, Oba Sushi is also phenomenal. If you haven't been there yet, they've got some of the best sushi in town, and we get inbound all the time for people saying that they'd like to set up down around here. Franco's, that's been in the Renaissance Center with the salad bar and the paninis and soups for years, is going to be at 416 State here not too long from now, right in the mix with all of us. So I don't know if I was supposed to say that, but I apologize, Franco, if I just blew up your spot. But
across the street here.
Really excited to have them down here.
Yeah.
It's an exciting time. And then with the Bayfront connector getting Bayfront lid project, this PennDOT project down there, and with some of the plans that are in place for both the convention center and Scott Enterprises, with the Port Authority starting to make some decisions that are going to impact our future in a positive way. We have a really solid list of very positive things happening here. And if you just go back, look at a Project Algerine about the renovation of the Bayfront that started. I mean, if you only have to go back that far, like to 2014 and the demolition of the shingle factory. And
right.
I mean, no longer do we have these big factories polluting the bay. We've got this beautiful asset. We're starting to take advantage of it. And I think that momentum is just going to continue to build.
You mentioned, too, that your neighbors there at 10th and State, the Avalon, that's coming online. What exactly is that you know of?
So that's 197 apartments.
They call it workforce? Is that?
Workforce housing is, I guess, technically the term, but it's market rate apartments.
It is, okay.
A certain portion of those are not rent controlled, but the rent will be set at a level that is affordable by a financial metric to those making 60% or below adjusted median income for the county.
Okay.
They're called the Bowie Apartments. Altair's managing that project.
Okay.
The EDDC has some involvement there, as well as UPMC, who's already got a medical office open in the building. We're in the final.
I did see that. That just kind of sprung up.
Yeah, so they're finishing up the project. The exterior is the one thing that really hasn't changed yet, and that's coming here in the next few months.
What do they want to do with the exterior?
The exterior is going to be on the upper levels will be a black paint or cladding, and on the lower levels be like a Scandinavian wood look. It's gonna be a sharp look when we get there. But that's a lot of apartments that'll be like affordable for entry level employees at businesses in Erie, and other people in that salary or livable range.
And that's not a concern for your investments because you guys are at the top of the market.
No, they're different. We only have like 9 studio apartments or something like that here at the EDC, so there's I believe 16 one-bedrooms in that building as well. So that it's still being finished. They are doing some showings. A lot of the apartments are pretty close to being done. The rooms are smaller, but they're nice. It's well located for people working downtown. So I expect that project to be done here in the next few months. But apartments, they'll probably start leases for apartments in the next month or so.
Wow.
And then the Renaissance Center is a $65 million redevelopment of 1001 State. Into a boutique, high-end, nice hotel that'll have a gym and a spa and a cocktail lounge and a full-service restaurant.
And this is our friend Christian from California. I can't pronounce his last name, but
I think he's calling it the Trust Hotel or something like that.
That's right, the Trust.
Pennsylvania Bank and Trust Company.
Yeah. So again, talk about data. Like again, I'm not saying the naysayers, but just somebody to be curious of like, how does this thing pencil out?
It's funny. There's a lot of people that are like, we need another hotel, right? But hotels in the summertime are going for $600 a night. It's crazy.
In Erie, Pennsylvania.
So there's capacity, and in addition to that, I've become a little bit of like a history nerd of the history of Erie, and specifically. There was a ton of hotels in Erie in its heyday.
Oh, yeah, the
up
Lawrence,
and down State Street. There was hotels everywhere.
The Hotel Reed right across
because this was a place that's got a beautiful resource being right on the lake. And if you have a vibrant business economy, which we are trying to rebuild right now, you need hotels so that people can stay there when they're here visiting. So not only do we have like a burgeoning, tourism industry here, which we hope will be maintained and even grow, but as our economic development efforts continue to take shape and hopefully are successful, we're going to need those things.
I mean, you got to consider that just even something as pragmatic as my spouse is having surgery, I need to have a place to stay before and after surgery, and so you're looking at a downtown hotel if you're going to Hammett, right? I mean.
Yeah, so it's great to see that building coming around. Modern Tool has been quietly
I'm interested. Wow.
And the group out of Ridgeway St. Mary's has been doing a phenomenal job with that building. All the new apartments that have been renovated are awesome. Great places to live, and they're going to start to work on that commercial space and get that activated soon. In addition to that, you've got Benton Bainbridge making investments up on the south end of State Street. Really creating a world-class media arts collective up there. And PACA, kind of on the far end, continuing to improve that space, bring in new businesses.
You got Captain Hagen to do matching funds for his fundraising.
There's no limit to the imagination of Mark Tannenbaum.
Exactly.
I love it. I love the spirit he brings, and I love what they're doing up there. I think leaning into the arts here is something that we really need to continue to do, and he's been doing it for a long time.
All right, I'm gonna turn a little dark here for a second. Talk about the situation, the challenges, and the sabotages, because we still have a considerable homeless situation. All over the news is the cancellation of the movie Mondays because they couldn't control kids carousing. I mean, these are all issues that we have to deal with as a community. It's not just your job, Drew, to fix this, or downtown partnerships or what have you.
Yeah. Some of the stuff's unfortunate. It's a reality of living in a city and being part of a larger community. If we didn't have anything negative going on, I would be afraid that nothing was happening at all. Unhoused population is unfortunately a reality in most denser urban environments, and it doesn't have to be that dense for this to be a situation when your economy nationwide is putting people increase of 2024, I think 18% increase in incidents of people being homeless in our country. We're a microcosm of what's going on a broader scale here. I think it's easy for the news to create headlines out of negative information. It's the rage bait in the comment sections online when this kind of stuff happens. People use it as an excuse to, exercise the darkest parts of themselves and what they think about parts of our population. I think those of us who are committed to continuing to build here are going to do that regardless. And we believe that if you create something that's worth caring about, the members of the community start to take notice. They will start to care. It's possible that you don't have hundreds of kids unsupervised after dark because their parents would make sure that doesn't happen. But there's broader community systemic issues that are shown through in some of those issues.
I mean, as a business owner, though, again, you have a business right there, 10th and State. What would you want the city to do about some of the trials and tribulations that you go through?
An active presence by the police force is important, and it's not that they weren't showing up at the park. It's that there was hundreds of kids. What do you do?
A lot of kids.
Enforcement of the curfew, I think, would be a good start because a lot of this stuff is happening after curfew. But again, that's a really hard thing to do in this environment. So, I know that Jamie Russo and Max and the crew that are kind of in the park, they're doing the best they can. These guys have limited options as to how they can handle these things. So it's not on them. It's certainly not on the group that's providing the fun opportunity for families on a Monday night. And to an extent, everybody wants to blame the kids or their parents, and there's certainly blame to go around there too. As I think you have to move forward, knowing that this stuff's going to happen from time to time, and do the best you can to control it, to mitigate those circumstances. But in no way do you wave the white flag over a couple of bad incidents.
Do you have concern? I was going to Calamari's one evening in the spring, and even as somebody who is kind of city, I've got a pretty good understanding of the city, but I was surprised at how many people were buttoning down to sleep overnight in the doorways. And I'm like, if I were a business owner, that'd be pretty tough for me to handle.
It's tough. You have it at 5 Iron too. there's, you're limited in what you can do there. From just from speaking with a lot of the people that I see around town, I know a lot of them by first name.
Sure.
There's the familiar faces that you see all the time. Then when you start to see faces that aren't as familiar, which we've seen a lot of this summer, I haven't quite gotten to the bottom of it, but we know the people are getting off the Amtrak train at the station here, and for whatever reason, the Erie is their destination from places like Arizona in the summertime. And I think there's probably some action that we could take to prevent that kind of situation from occurring. But it's a much larger problem than any business owner here can solve on their own.
Right.
In general, there's a lot of people that are, they're hiring security to make sure that they're people that are patrons of their business feel safe. We do that. 5 Iron, I know that
Country Fair is the safest
place. Country Fair's got it.
Yeah.
Anybody serving alcohol generally is employing taking that kind of measure. But yeah, I think, look, it's an urban environment.
Right.
And compared to the urban environments that I've seen and been in and, lived in, this does not strike. Like, I never feel unsafe out here.
Okay, cool. I'll leave it there because I don't want to leave on that note. But, it's just one of those things that we have to grind through a bit. So are you a gnocchi guy or a ravioli guy?
Depends on what's in the ravioli, but I like gnocchi. I'm a fan of the.
I mean, they'll have both.
I know. I'm
at Serafini's.
I'm telling you, we got a diner and an Italian joint opening up, and it's going to be a tough. Yeah. It's going to be a good bulking season this winter, Joel.
There's no doubt. Drew Whiting, the CEO of the Erie Downtown Development Corporation. Thanks so much for the update, buddy.
You're welcome.